this will be the last part of the three-part series of the CST, your coaching, scouting, and training. With the latter being the topic of this series finale. So, another part that is definitely lacking in Madden, the training. Now, overall, in order for this to really work, you have to switch Madden's scheduling to a calendar-based system. To not the week-to-week, here are the tasks type order. It has to be a daily, let me go back to calendar. It has to be like this. And as you see, I can give a rest day, practice. This is better suited to deliver your training, your basic training schedule. So let me go back to the training schedule. I could have gone here first, but I didn't. But as you can see, I can decide in about a couple of days, I can decide to give them a rest day, or I can have them practice that day. But I have it set up that my team never practices on Sunday. And if one comes up like they're going to practice, they're resting on that day. I believe in resting my players on Sunday. So that's my signature on their training. So you have others, like this practice day, I can dictate how they practice, what their primary focus is on. I've just recently adjusted the focus to mostly fundamental and tactical when they practice. And I have them practicing at a high rate, so I'm trying to get them ready for playoffs, in other words. So if I go back, and I didn't go any deeper into that because that's going to happen next. So you have team training. This is where you're going to set your team's overall focus in each one. And for me, I have it on hustle, defensive consistency, and perimeter defense. This is where I can train the intensity levels. And I can set whether they rest before back-to-backs or after back-to-backs. This is where I set the training distribution. Again, I set it mostly to tactical and fundamental. Physical, I think they're doing okay, but I may have to pick that back up because of the injuries. I think probably around like 27 would be better suited. So, and then I could say individual player training. This is what needs to be in Madden and any other game that has a deep franchise mode. You don't need points to set this at all. You just have to set their focus, and depending on your coach will dictate how much a player improves or regresses. Like if I go deeper, actually no, if I go here, I can set all that. If I go to team development, and this is actually another important aspect, you really don't see your team development overall, especially in Madden. If I'm repeating Madden too much, it's because that's a specific focus. Because that's the game that needs to catch up with 2015. Right now, the game is 2013-ish, 2012-ish. Like last gen status. That's just my opinion, but I feel a lot of people will agree with that. But they need to catch up. But look at team development. Now, a lot of it has gone down as the season has gone on, and this is overall. Some of it's gone up. You have keys to let you know what it's going up against. Like as you see here, passing IQ increase. Now it's funny, as it's gone down, the assists per game has gone up, but then it dropped significantly. So you have all these statistics, and this will help guide you on what you need to focus on. Like if you feel like you have a rating that's in the 50s and you want to get that up, like this is probably the top 2, and I should switch my training because these are low. So I don't know I don't know what I'm gonna get from my team if this is since this is low. So I probably need to change my overall focus to offensive consistency and defensive consistency. I feel like if I do that, my team would be better suited for the playoffs, and I believe I'm gonna do that after this recording. So, and it's funny that I'm using this recording just to look at this, use it later. But we need games to have this. Like I said, part of the CST, coaching, scouting, and training. I almost forgot. That's what they call it, live commentary, for a reason. So, okay, so I'm gonna get out of here. Player development. So you can look at the individual player, and you can break it down to that player. Then you can look at their individual to see what you want them to be. Now it's funny, another aspect is if you want to change the position of your player, unless you know what their ratings can be, and I don't expect John Wall to be anything more than a point guard. I would not put him at any other position. I could play him as shooting guard, but I have 3 guys that can bring up the ball, so I'm good. But that's just how deep the training goes. And stuff like this you want in your franchise mode. You want it in those types of modes to be able to be immersed and feel like you're playing a true sim game. Now, not all games are perfect. Some of this stuff does mess up from time to time, but I'm telling you, if the CST, again, coaching, scouting, and training, is really deep and doesn't restrict you based on points, but restricts you based on the grade of the person, like the coach or like the trainer or the scout, then let that dictate whether your players regress at a certain rate, progress at a certain rate. But this offers immersion, really, to me, in my opinion, to the highest level. So I like what 2K15 did this year. I wonder what they're going to do next year, or this fall, obviously, but with 2K16 coming out this October, what they're going to do as far as these 3 are concerned. And again, the point of the series was based on the CST, again, coaching, scouting, and training. So again, I will end it with that. If anybody has any questions concerning what I just went over, and if you have NBA 2K15, I suggest you look into those parts of your franchise, because those are very important to be able to really understand how your team is progressing throughout the season. And you'll learn something. I know I've learned something. Shoot, hell, I don't know if it was part 2 or part 1, but I learned something that, you know, it was in the scouting, so part 2. I learned something in the scouting that I didn't see before. And then definitely looking at this part, seeing something that may change how I train my players from here on out. So we all learn something, and that's the whole point. So again, this is the series finale, and I'm done recording. I'm not gonna do this anymore. So this was part 3 of the CST, coaching, scouting, and training. And again, your boy DJ81 on that channel, Skins for Life, featuring NBA 2K15. Have a good day, and again, I hope you guys, you know, comment below, tell me what you guys think. If you have any insights on not just these 3, but the franchise mode or my league as a whole, and your thoughts on how it could translate to other games, just feel free to comment. Again, this is your boy DJ81 on that channel, Skills for Life. Peace.